Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 1801 Live. I'm Emily Dangler, your host. Today's episode is going to be all about pre-professional development in honor of our upcoming student government program called Key Week, which stands for Knowledge Empowers You. This is a week-long of events put on by student government, really just to help students get prepared for life after graduation. Pre-professional development is huge for every student on campus, so really just want to let students know of all the great resources available on campus. As far as events for the week goes, we're going to kick it off on Monday, October 18th with Advice with a Slice with the Career Center. We're going to be out on Davis Field from 11 to 2. You can come up, talk to representatives from the Career Center, and grab a slice of pizza. On Tuesday, we're going to be having a Carolina Closet pop-up shop from 11 to 2 on Green Street. So you can come get free business clothes. And then on Wednesday, we'll be doing free headshots on the Horseshoe from 1 to 4. And then on Friday, we're going to have a pre-professional organization fair from 11 to 2 on Green Street. So you can really come and expand your network on campus and join groups of students who kind of have similar career aspirations as you. But as far as today's podcast goes, I'm with some students here who work for the Career Center. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, I can start off. Hey guys, my name is Simon Tulori. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm a senior visual communications major here at USC.
I can go next. I am Taya Andrews. I am a senior English major here, and I am also a Career Studio peer educator within the Career Center, and I also run all of our social media accounts.
Hi, my name's Campbell Smith. I'm a senior from Greenville, South Carolina, studying international business and business economics. And I'm I guess, second semester CSPE, along with Taya and Simon.
Do you guys want to kind of explain what you guys do with the Career Center?
Yeah, so I'll take this one. CSPEs, Career Studio Peer Educators, are student employees at the Career Center, and we honestly do a lot of stuff, but our two main job responsibilities, I would say, is that with Handshake, the student account that you can apply to jobs for, schedule appointments with the Career Center through, the CSPEs go through that and we vet and approve all of the jobs that go in there. And so that's why we push it towards our students, because we make sure they're safe and not scams. And then our second biggest responsibility is that we take appointments with students as well. And so almost any career related topic that they want to discuss, like going over their professional documents, resumes, cover letters, even personal statements for graduate school, they can come to us and have an appointment with us to talk about that. Or if they're thinking of changing their major, they don't know what they want to do when they graduate, all that kind of stuff, they can come and talk to us.
That's so great. What kind of got each of you into this role? What made you want to seek it out?
When I was applying, I knew I wanted to do something on campus when it comes to a job, and I wanted a job that would actually help not just me but also the body it's representing, and I think that's what the Career Center really truly is for, the students, and they've done everything in their power and are continually doing that to help out with career fairs, resume help, workshops, even headshot events. And I think that's what made me want to take on the role.
What about you, Campbell? What made you want to take on the role?
So during COVID, I had an internship get canceled, and I was kind of scrambling to find some stuff to do that summer, and I ended up getting really involved on LinkedIn. It's become probably my favorite social media.
LinkedIn is social media. I'll stand by that.
Oh yeah. But kind of going with that, once I kind of like Simon, once I found this job, and I'd already been all over LinkedIn, Handshake, I'd loved using them. I was already on there looking at jobs every single day. At that point, just for fun, kind of like how some people look at Zillow for houses. So I was on there all the time, and I found a job. I saw the job actually posted on LinkedIn by one of the pro staff and one of the career coaches at the time. And so I was like, this is an awesome position. I can help other students here. This is something I'm passionate about. I love being on these platforms and searching for jobs and seeing the different jobs out there. And I'd love to help students also, figure out all this stuff as well, because it took me a while to figure it out. And I'm just glad that the Career Center is there that has all these resources to help you figure out as well. I've learned so much in this job. Even just doing this, even more than I ever thought I'd learn, just going on LinkedIn or Handshake.
How do you guys think the Career Center has helped like each of you personally? What kind of skills have you gained through using like their services or through like your positions?
Oh my gosh, I cannot even describe how much this job has changed how I look at my own self professionally. I talked to my supervisor about it multiple times, that looking at my own resume before I worked at the Career Center, I couldn't even believe they wanted me to come in and work on student resumes. I was like, it was horrible. Why did you hire me? And so for me, a lot of it came down to the professional development. It is so intense. Like my resume is so much cleaner. I know how to write a cover letter now. Even just like professional interactions, the way that I communicate with both people in real life, like professional staff members or my professors when I'm writing an email, it's just become so easy for me to communicate professionally in that way. And I know that it's because I've worked in the Career Center.
Yeah, even just like networking within the Career Center and the amazing career coaches that are there, I've learned about so many opportunities and everything, and they always point you in the right way. They point you in the right direction. And being like a employee of UFC, I think you like tend to know more about what's going on. And I've just felt like more in the loop with what the university has going on and events being thrown around and everything.
I'd say too, one of the biggest things I picked up personally is more confidence going into career fairs. I'm a senior, but I'd never gone to a career fair prior to this year, partially because of COVID, but also just never done any of the virtual career fairs, any of the in-person ones. And this role, all the people involved in the Career Center gave me so much confidence to go out there and, hand an employer my resume, knowing that it's good. It's the best thing I can do. And they've vetted it and they've said it's good. And I've started to see some benefits with that as well. So
that's so great, especially with COVID. Like so many students have not been to a career fair at all, or if they have, they've been virtual. Do you guys have any tips maybe for students who might be scared to like step out of their comfort zone and go to a career fair?
Definitely be yourself is the biggest thing I can say. Something that's not talked about enough during the job searching or internship searching thing is just culture and how your unique self fits in with the company, because sometimes it just doesn't match, and that's fine. But taking into account will I working for this company? How does a recruiter react with me? Do they accept me for who I am, or do I feel the need to change who I am? Just be yourself and stay confident, and just understand that nothing separates you and the hiring recruiter. You're both humans at the same time. So that's the biggest advice I give around.
Oh, I think that was a really beautiful way to put that,
Simon. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Going off what he said, I think that going with that, just like what he said, something to keep in mind to try to build your confidence when trying to go into those interactions is that it goes both ways. It's not just an employer looking at you and seeing if you're a good fit. It's also you seeing if you're a good fit. Just like Simon said, do I interact well with this person? Would I enjoy working with them? Is this company right for me? And so same with interviews. If you're going into an interview, it goes both ways. And when it comes to career fairs, I get that virtual can be awkward and stuff, but I also think it's really beneficial because you get these private rooms virtually to speak with employers. And ultimately, it's just a really great resource for you to try to figure out companies that you want, networking, all of that kind of stuff. And so definitely step out of your comfort zone for one.
I think they took every tip I could you probably give. They summed that up very nicely.
You guys nailed it. So for students who might not have like ever been to the Career Center, don't really understand the services, you guys want to explain some of your favorite services that the Career Center offers for students?
I have so many. I want to see if anyone else has ones that they want to talk about first, though.
I like when people are like figuring out what they want to do with their career.
Mhm.
I know like I that semester that COVID like initially happened is the semester I found out that I wanted to go into advertising with my major. And now I'm like obsessed, but I like that process of like people trying to figure out like what they want to do, because it is a tough step. Like for some people it's going to be something that they do the rest of their lives. For some people it's going to be something that they try out and it just doesn't work, and that's completely okay because the world's full of like amazing opportunities to take a hold. So I like open-ended meetings with students, that interaction that I get, ways I can help in any way, and LinkedIn, like helping kids with LinkedIn. Because like Campbell, it's like my favorite social media app. I'm literally like my screen time with it's like 30 minutes a day, which is I don't think but yeah, those are like some things that I love to do.
Taya, do you want to go next or?
No, you can go.
All right. I'd probably say resume reviews are one of my favorites. At this point too, working at the Career Center, like we know how to critique a resume like the back of our hands. But I always enjoy every time talking to students about resumes because even at first, like when I was a freshman, sophomore, I had no clue what to put on a resume. But I love explaining the resumes, going through their resumes with them, and helping them improve their resumes because I know that's like the foot in the door for all these jobs is your resume. So I think that's one of the coolest things that we do offer is those consultations, and just seeing like the light bulb kind of go off like, oh, that's how we do it, like, oh, okay. Or even some like, oh, I actually do have a lot more experience than I was thinking about originally. And I love that part of the job as well.
I bet you guys have your friends asking you to like look at their resumes all the time.
I have had a couple. As for resources, I too, with Simon and Campbell, love to have those interactions with the students, but I also know that sometimes students don't have the time to come in for appointments, or they're really, really COVID cautious. They have all virtual classes, they don't live on campus, any of that kind of stuff, and they just can't find the time to come in for an appointment. And so the Career Center has an abundance of resources available to them, and they can go to our website. It's sc.edu/career. And within our website, we have just so many things. If you're considering changing your major, we have our What Can I Do With This Major website. Obviously, Handshake and LinkedIn are wonderful resources. We have so many documents, and our main resource that we love to push towards our students is called our Student Success Toolkit, and it's a Trello board, and it is just chock full of resources. We have a professional document section for like resume tips, resume samples, cover letter tips, cover letter tips and tricks, samples, all of that kind of stuff. Even like past your career, we have email etiquette stuff. We have, if you're trying to do salary negotiation, it's just an abundance of resources at the hands of students that they can access through our website. And if students can't come in or they need any help whatsoever outside of the Career Center, but still kind of the Career Center, I would say look at the Trello board.
That's great. So all students have to do is go to the Career Center's website and that's right there.
Yeah, if I'm correct, the exact way to get to it, obviously they could call us or email us and we could send them the link to it. But if they want to like find it themselves, the exact way is to go to our website. So sc.edu/careers, or just type Career Center into the search bar and you'll find it. Go to Student Services, plan a career, and then off to the right of the screen, you'll see the Student Success Toolkit and a link to that. And so I definitely think that that's like the main thing that I would push towards students if they needed a resource like right now.
Yeah, that sounds like a great resource. So this is kind of an odd question, but if you guys could recommend one resource to a freshman and then a sophomore and then a junior and senior, what would you recommend for each kind of like age bracket?
That's a good question. So freshmen, I would look at the career readiness test, like Myers-Briggs, Focus 2.
Mhm.
Those are great resources just to figure out like what you want to do. Especially, I know some freshmen come in, I'm gonna be a doctor or I'm gonna be a lawyer. They know that set, but like for the ones that were like me and that just had no idea like what to do with their field, those tests on our career center website are great to use. Sophomore, Taya, Campbell, you guys know anything for sophomores? It's like it's a weird year.
Mm.
I feel like sophomore and junior year, I would kind of almost mush together and
Yeah.
still say the Trello board. Honestly, all 4 years, use the Trello board. I rep it so hard. But I feel like sophomore and junior year is really going to be that time where you're trying to develop your resume further. And so I know a lot of like University 101 classes have their like, you have to make a resume assignment, but I feel like sophomore and junior year is really where you're going to want to make your resume cleaner because you're going to be trying to apply for internships or part-time jobs because you're becoming an adult and you might be having to like pay for your own rent at this point. And so definitely junior and senior year, I think the Trello board. And then senior year, I would honestly say like LinkedIn, like start
Oh, yeah.
networking, start getting yourself out there because you're going to have to make connections at this point.
Yeah, I've always summed it up like freshman year is a year that you figure out everything. Sophomore year is the year that you like join clubs or just like branch out more. Junior year is where you like completely take your career very seriously, find internships and everything. And then so far, senior year has just been about networking, reaching out to people, asking any and all questions that could arise. And because I think like a saying I've been like hearing a lot and what I live by kind of is like your network is your net worth. And how you find jobs in the industry now is just by talking to people,
Mhm.
and having someone in a room that can, hey, I remember that person or I know that name. It can do wonders for like the hiring process and everything.
Oh yeah.
So for students who don't necessarily know what Handshake is, because I feel like especially with COVID, students have been kind of like away from campus, haven't really been paying attention to everything that's going on. Can you guys kind of explain like all the different things like you can do with the Handshake, how students can log in, how they can get onto it, all that kind of stuff?
Ambo's kind of the handshake king, so I think
Yeah, so Handshake, every student already has a Handshake account when they come to USC. It's already activated and ready to go. If you go onto the Career Center website on that front page, like literally the first thing you see is access your Handshake, click here. All you have to do is click on that link, put in your USC email login, and then you already have your Handshake account set up. Now with that too, you can go in, you can customize it, put down. I know for me personally, I just took my resume and copy and pasted it into experiences, put down what skills I had, what my major was. And the awesome thing about Handshake is they'll take your skills and interests and customize the jobs that you see and internships you see based on that and with your education as well. So there's a really cool algorithm that they have there to make sure the jobs that you're seeing are the jobs that like fit you best. And usually also the jobs that you're most interested in. Because we have over 40,000 jobs a day on Handshake for USC students to
That's a
access.
lot of jobs.
Oh, yeah. A couple other cool features that we have. Handshake is how you're going to access like every event that we have career wise. So all career fairs, that's where you're going to go to sign up. There's a little event page there. And you can go through and you can see every event on the calendar coming up, what employers are going to be there, how long the event's going to be like. And then there's even usually there's even a little section like what should you bring for this career fair, like what do you need here, because I know, not having gone to a career fair myself until this year, like I didn't know exactly what I needed, what I should bring, how I should dress, so that can help out a lot as well. And then there's a third tab for Career Center, and with that, that's how you go through and you make appointments with us. The consultations we were talking about, that's how students will go on there and create those appointments, and then also access a lot of other Career Center resources like the Trello board that Taya was talking about.
That's great. And then on Handshake, it's not just jobs for students for post-graduation, right?
So they offer internships, fellowships, part-time jobs in the local area, on-campus student employment. Almost every office here at USC that offers a student job is going to post it on Handshake. Work study and non-work study. So that's where you're going to find all of these different jobs. I think for on campus is being a little more specific, but I think it's exclusively on Handshake and not on LinkedIn or another job search site. So definitely anyone looking for an on-campus job or part-time job, like that is the place to go. And then also part-time or full-time jobs after you graduate here as well.
I think everyone listening should learn that you should go on Handshake and you should look at the Trello board. Those are the two key takeaways we have so far.
100%.
And then another, I feel like, common misconception about the Career Center is that maybe students who want to go to law school or med school, that their Career Center, their resources aren't for them because they technically don't want to have a career right out of college. What would you say to like those students, and what different services would you recommend to them?
So with like pre-law, pre-health, pre-med students, all of those, 100% come to the Career Center. Like we have the resources, like it's also just a lot of our meetings are conversation based. Our resources are pretty widespread. Like the things on the Trello board have so many different areas that they touch upon. And obviously our pro staff members are amazing, but when it does come to like pre-law, pre-health, pre-med, we oftentimes also suggest that they go to OPA, so the Office of Pre-Professional Advising and Graduate School now, because they're the ones that are really tasked with like helping them, like they're trained 100% to help them. And they're like partnered with the Career Center, basically, like we love them. And so two of our CSPEs actually work in OPA right now to advise students. And so if you're considering grad school or you're on a pre-med, pre-law track, all of those kinds of things, I strongly suggest coming into the Career Center, but also being sure to schedule an appointment with OPA.
And like a lot of med schools and law schools, they look at like what you've done during your time in college. And I feel like going to the Career Center would help. Like I would lead students to joining more clubs, joining more organizations, looking to shadow a lawyer or a doctor in any field that you were like looking into going to. So like it's still very much a career, like even if you are going post-grad. So there's various ways that we can also help.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things that our main, like if we're going to be having meetings with grad students, the biggest thing, not grad students, I'm sorry, pre-law, pre-health, is that like those are the kinds of things where you're going to need to go to grad school, and grad school applications almost always are going to ask for your personal statement. And that's one of our biggest resources that we provide, is that like our Trello board has tips and tricks for personal essays and all of that kind of stuff, personal statements, but you can also come into us for that meeting to have us look over it, try to get you to the point that you want to be, and turn in the best work that you can for your grad school applications. And so I would say that when it comes to wanting to go to law school, wanting to go to med school, all of those kinds of things, please come and talk to us. We're going to be here to help you out with that.
And so for students who are listening are like, okay, I've never been to the Career Center. It sounds like they have these great resources, but I'm still a little nervous. What kind of advice would you give to them, or what would you say to them to kind of like convince them to come?
We're so fun, guys. I love everyone that I work with. I have never in my life enjoyed a group of people more than I do working with my pro staff members and my CSPs. Like the people I work with in the Career Center are some of the kindest, funniest, best people I've known in my whole life. And I've been able to listen to other people in their appointments, and I think that it's just a really valuable experience. And if you're nervous to come into the Career Center, like I promise, we are not going to tear your resume apart. I'm actually a peer leader in a U101 class right now. And they just had an assignment where they had to come into the Career Center. And multiple of my students said that they were shocked that we didn't like tear their stuff apart with brutal comments. And I was like, no, that's not how we work. It's a very collaborative experience and we're just here to help you. And we're going to be super nice, probably crack some jokes while we do it. And so please come in. I think it's a really good time, and don't ever be nervous, because if you're talking to a career studio peer educator, we're students too, and we fully understand.
My mind just blanked. What has been your guys' like favorite like memory or favorite moment like being like a peer educator? I know it's a hard one.
Yeah, that is hard.
I have mine, so I can go first. Wait, no, Simon, you can go.
I was just saying, like, being around the same group of people, like, our schedules are fixed for each week, so we see each other like when we see each other each week, and just hearing like the progression of everyone's stories. Like Campbell had an interview this week actually, and he has a second one coming. So next week I can ask him about that. I love that. A lot of my other fellow employees, they're getting interviews and offers left and right. So I think just seeing people and my peers and my friends that I consider, like, just seeing them grow and prosper and succeed, that warms my heart, and it's something I look forward to seeing and hearing about.
Oh, that's great.
Congratulations, Campbell. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. And I'm also 100% agree with Simon that like we get to see each other like every shift, and it's just really, you get to build those relationships. And Simon and I are both second year CSPEs, and so we were with our graduating CSPs last year when they left, and it was like we had a whole party for our graduating seniors, and we kept up with them. We have them all on LinkedIn, and we get to find out when they got their dream job and all of that kind of stuff. But I would say that my favorite moment, like singularly, was an appointment that I had, and her name was Amy. Shout out to her. And she was a sophomore who wanted to change her major, and she scheduled an appointment with me, and she was so nervous about it. And a lot of students, when they want to change their major, it's a scary process. And like, I understand that. I changed my major, and she was really just scared about it. And she asked me these questions like, is it uncommon for students to change their major? And I was like, not at all. It is severely common. And I understand that it's a scary process, but we're here. Exploratory advising is here for you. And it was just so touching. Afterwards, she ended up sending me an email telling me how much the appointment helped her out and how much it made her feel better about the process. And so that really like touched my soul and made me like, that was my first semester working in the Career Center, and it just truly made me realize how important the Career Center is to students and how valuable it is. And so that was definitely my moment.
That's a great story.
I'd probably say my moment, my one singular moment too, was probably my, I wouldn't say my first appointment because I was so nervous the first time I met with a student, but probably the second or third appointment I had was the first time where I was like, wow, like I just helped someone with their resume. Like I know how to do this now. They're a lot better off. And just having that confidence too. And I think that's a big part about this job too, is just how much confidence it gives us, but then also we're able to give confidence to the students that come in and meet with us. And being able, like I said before, seeing that light bulb click, seeing them walk out a lot more calm, more collected, more like I'm ready to get into this job. That's just so rewarding. And I think that like I just go back to that every time, the first couple students I got to meet with, and how good that felt every time.
Dang, I did not realize Garnet Media was going to be making me emotional today.
You guys really are like I would like want to work at the Career Center now. I wish I had time. It seems like you guys have a ball and you're making differences in people's lives. This is so fun.
We're all homies.
So just to kind of start to wrap up, your guys' first like kind of piece of advice I would say to students who want to start like getting into the Career Centers, look on the website, go to that toolbox, check out the Trello, and then make an appointment if they're interested.
Oh yeah. And then like we talked about before, like LinkedIn, like start networking. It is never too early to start networking. You can do it. Reach out to your professors, reach out to people you know, reach out to the Career Center, just get on LinkedIn and start making friends and posting about your life.
You'll be addicted to getting connections.
Really.
But yeah, I think kind of going off that too, like it's never too early, but it's also never too late. So even if you are like a junior, haven't started the internship search yet, or a senior not starting the job search yet, like it's never too late. You're never behind anyone else. There's always time to get in and start your career search as well.
Yeah, like to second off that, it's just like the earlier you start, the better. And because like a lot of times when failure is like late, it's gonna hit rough. I'd rather fail early and understand like what went wrong. But like the Career Center is always a place where you can come by, get the resume checked, learn how to write a cover letter, refine a cover letter, look like I've helped multiple students. I'm like, hey, I know this person in this field, connect with them on LinkedIn. Like I've done that multiple times just because like through my time here, I've learned to know so many people. And then the career coaches, they're all amazing, and they're all willing to help out and reach out and giving you the resources, because the most important thing with their job is to make sure that like us, the students, succeed in whichever field, in whichever way we are. And I think that's just so beautiful. So reach out, don't be afraid, we don't bite. So
That's so great. Thank you guys so much for coming on today and sharing all this great information with us.
Yes, I'm gonna shamelessly rep right now. So obviously, yes, Advice with a Slice is next Monday, and I'm gonna be there. So guys, come out and get pizza. But also the next Monday, the Career Center is also doing a tabling event, and we're gonna say and ask students, what do you fear going into your career? Halloweeny, spooky. And when you come to our table and answer the question, you'll also be getting donuts. So October 25th from noon to 3 on Davis Field, come visit us and get a donut.
I like donuts, so I'll definitely be there.
Yay!
Well, sweet. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Everyone, make sure you check out the Career Center's website, check out Handshake, check out the Trello board. And then make sure you follow U of SC on Instagram to check out all the events for Key Week next week. It's going to be a great time. Free food, free clothes, free headshot. Why wouldn't you want to be there? And thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everything good?